All right, guys, we're gonna play a game to help develop our leg locking skills, okay? We're gonna be working on connecting to our partner's leg using our hands. So you're gonna take any two-handed connection on the leg that you want, all right? And you have to hold on to your partner's leg without using your own legs. Ideally, we're gonna try to keep our legs in a position where we could lock up a connection around the hip if we wanted to, all right? But that's not the focus here. The focus is just to stay connected with your hands, all right? We can move 360 degrees around the leg into any orientation that we want. You could be on top of their leg, all right? You could be on the inside of their leg, all right? You could be under their leg, doesn't matter. There's one grip that we're not gonna use, which is the straight ankle grip. All right, this one is a great grip. It's very powerful, but in order to develop other grips, we're gonna avoid using this one for this game. Each time that you guys go, one player is gonna be attacking. That's the person holding the leg, and the other player is gonna be looking to get their, to dismantle the grips and attachments that I've made to their leg. And each time that we switch, we're gonna change the grip. So if the first time I grip like this, then the next time I have to make some variation of that. All right, so each time so that way we're trying out new grips and different grips, and we expose ourselves to a couple different ways to do this. All right, let's give that a shot. All right, so we're gonna progress this situation a little bit. Now, your job is to go alternating between connecting at the hip and connecting at the foot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with my legs connected to his hip any way I want. It could be inside, just relax your legs so I can turn. It could be inside, it could be outside, it could be mixed. All right, doesn't matter, okay? From here, I'm gonna get some kind of connection with my hands, okay? Once I get the connection with my hands, then I need to release the connection with my legs and change it. Going from either inside to outside, from outside to mixed, from outside to inside, doesn't matter, but I gotta change the connection of my legs. Then, once I have the new connection of my legs, I gotta change the connection of my hands. For this game, we're gonna allow the straight ankle lock grip, all right? Once I get the grip with my hands, like I said before, we're gonna change the connection of our legs. Okay, so I'm gonna try to accumulate as many switches back and forth as I can of my hands and my legs. All right, my partner's job is to break the connection at my legs, at his hip, by opening up my legs, right? And then free his ankle, right? You break the connection at his ankle, all right, without standing up, all right? So we're not gonna stand up during this game. This will make it a little bit easier for the bottom player. It's also a little bit safer. All right, so my job is to accumulate as many switches as possible. His job is to break the attachment at his hip and free his foot from the attachment at his legs. All right, let's give it a shot on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so now we're gonna play a game that explores both the ability to counter someone who's entangling your leg and also focusing on maintaining the inside position. So my job is to get my legs to the inside position, all right, and then entangle his leg, all right, by wrapping my legs around his hip any way that I can, all right? When this happens, his job is to recover his leg without disengaging and entangle my leg. So you could just throw this over the top, right? Getting the inside position himself. As he gets the inside position, right, I'm gonna pummel in, right? I look to pummel in and recover the inside position, okay? So our job is to just get back to the inside position. So let's say he throws this in, right? And now he's occupying the inside position with his legs. My job is without disengaging to recover that, right? So I come in, I regain that inside position, all right? And now I'm controlling his leg, okay? So we're working on gaining the entanglement by getting inside position. This is developing both our ability to escape leg entanglements, to counter leg entanglements, and also to battle for inside position. So even as he's trying to bring his leg to the inside, right, I'm looking to control that leg and keep it out. That control can come with my hands. It can also, in certain positions, come with the legs, right? So I'm using my legs here to keep his leg out of inside position, all right? So let's try this on 3. 1, 2, 3. For this one, we're gonna focus on breaking the braking mechanics that are involved in a straight ankle lock, all right? It doesn't have to be a straight ankle lock. You could use any structure you want, all right? But what we're gonna do is we're gonna start in any entanglement that you want. So the attacker just picks a position, right? Like right now I'm in outside Ashigarami, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use whatever part of my body I want to try to push his toes in line with the knee, all right? And if your partner is able to get the toes in line with the knee, then he's just gonna tap, all right? He doesn't have, I don't have to actually get like a full, like what would make you tap in a roll or in competition, right? Like all I'm trying to do is if I get his toes in line with his knee, then he's gonna tap or say tap, all right? Even if you wouldn't really tap to that in a real situation, all right? This is kind of gonna allow you to explore how the braking works without it being super dangerous. So I could do that, right, with like an ankle lock grip, right? I could use that to put his toes. I could also use other grips, like I could do this sort of like lens lock, corkscrew foot lock grip to do the same thing, to push his toes in line with his knee, okay? So you could use anything you want. Like if you like think maybe you could do it like this, right? Or like maybe you come here and you're like pushing down, right? Like you could do this any way that you want to do it, all right? Your job is simply to stay connected at the hip and to push the big toe down so that it's in line with the knee. If you as the defender feel your foot get straightened out, then you lose and you tap, and you basically are gonna say, you know, time, okay? That doesn't mean though that you can't resist it. So like if I'm trying to push your toes down, I want you to, pull your foot up to you and do whatever you can. The defender wins the game when they're able to clear the connection at the hip and the connection at the foot, all right? So they just have to escape, all right? You can also win if you get to an entanglement. So if I was the defender, right, and you had me, right, and you have this, right, if I were to, right, clear this, and then now get this out and get an entanglement myself, I win, all right? Because I've escaped, okay? So we have to escape the connection at the foot and escape the connection at the hip. Defender wins. Let's try that on 3. 1, 2, 3.